Welcome to Agoracom via satellite, a production of Agoracom, in which we speak with small cap executives about recent important developments. With us today is Frank Smeek, President and CEO, KWG Resources, trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the stock symbol KWG. Now, for those of you who aren't quite familiar with the KWG story, the company holds interests in two significant deposits in the Ring of Fire. There's a remote region about 500 kilometers northeast of Thunder Bay, but it's also home to the fourth largest chromite reserves on the planet. Chromite is essential to the production of stainless steel, and KWG believes it can address the market for the next 100+ years. More importantly, and perhaps what we're here to discuss today, is the fact that KWG land holdings are essential to transportation routes in and out of the Ring of Fire, the strength of which were recently upheld in court when KWG trumped multi-billion-dollar miner Cliffs Natural Resources, leading to Cliffs temporarily putting the Ring of Fire assets on ice and creating a political firestorm. Frank, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, George.
All right, Frank, so let's get straight down to the brass tacks. With so much news and so many developments going on in the Ring of Fire over the last 30 days, what is the state of the Ring of Fire? Where does it stand?
KWG and Noront, for two, are carrying on with their work. So in our case, we're getting ready to do a drill program to increase the inferred resource at the Black Horse deposit. In Noront's case, they're carrying on with their environmental assessment, which they hope to have completed in the next number of weeks. And I guess the third party that's quite busy is the Ontario government. They've put a team together to develop the concept of this development corporation, and we've met with them. We've had an initial meeting with them. We hope to have another one in the next few days, and I think Noront has done the same. I don't know about Cliffs.
Let's talk about those two elements, because you've got a business element and a political element. So the business element, given the fact that there are really only two companies active in the Ring of Fire, do you think that the two of you, without the cachet of Cliffs, for sake of a better term, can make the Ring of Fire work? Can you make all this happen? And then we'll get on to the political will. But from a business point of view, with only two real active companies in there, can you turn it into a development?
Well, the short answer is yes. I think Noront has a nickel deposit. It can be put into production and get to market using trucking. That will let us get in there to develop the heavy transport. And so, yeah, the short answer is yes. Actually, I welcome it because it gives us a chance to get to the chrome market first, if you will.
And let's talk about the political will side of things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to need at least $1 billion, if not $2 billion in infrastructure up there. $1 billion would have been the cost of the road that Cliffs was proposing. That's been kiboshed. $2 billion is the cost of your railway solution, but that's not going to come without significant help, not just from the private sector, but from government at both federal and provincial levels. First of all, do you need that? And if you do, is the political will really, really there, or is this, this last-minute development corporation put forth by the Wynn provincials just a last-minute gasp?
Well, I think the result of the commissioner's hearing has let everybody stand back and take a deep breath and look at things from a different perspective all over again. And I think the arrival of Al Coutts as CEO of Noront is a real breath of fresh air. And Al and I have promised to meet on a regular basis, which we do and have done, to keep each other informed. One of the first things he did is establish that, in fact, the industrial road could be extended from Webequie Junction right into their mine site at Eagle's Nest. So that from our perspective, overcame a big challenge, which was you couldn't justify building a road all the way from the Pickle Lake Junction up to Webequie Junction just to have it end in the middle of nowhere to be met by a slurry pipeline to slurry nickel for 11 years. I think the CapEx case was difficult to justify both for the road and for the slurry pipeline. So now we're all looking at what is feasible there, in terms of an industrial road. And that, I think, is the principal focus at least at this early stage of the Development Corporation. The province, I think industry concluded, boy, these are big numbers, $1 billion here, $2 billion there, depending on the option. Does it really need to cost that much? A road crossing making 98 water crossings, which would have been the case following the north-south road, is a big challenge.
And that's a road that Cliffs wanted, the north-south.
That's the road that Cliffs wanted. It's an engineering challenge. It's a physical cut and fill challenge. Whereas the east-west road seems to be less of a challenge, particularly if it is not a public road. Public highway as they're defined. So this is the whole concept of a limited access industrial road. That road also, as Noront has made very clear over a very long time, is one that can provide access to the largest of most of the Matawa First Nations populations, the 4 large communities, which are Webequie, Nabinamik, Yabamatung, and who am I missing? Niskandiga. So I think we'll see a little bit of further thought being put into that option as a place to begin. Because if that road can get into the Eagle's Nest deposit and assist it in turning on, then the other thing the road can do is the traffic going in there can supply the development of the chromite deposits.
Do you have a dollar figure associated with that east-west road, and then what contribution, if any, would be coming from KWG, what would be coming from Noront, and what, if any, would be coming from either level, provincial or federal governments?
I don't, again, the short answer is no, I don't have that dollar figure, but for our own purposes, because this is being debated, we are looking at what we would do if it were ours to do. So I think I'm about 48 hours away from having that plan and that budget and that timetable. Then we will meet again with the Development Corporation and Noront and start to talk about the options and see what their budgets and timetables look like. In terms of the source of funding, I think the genius of the Development Corporation is that this is a kind of a legal construct, a creature that we've seen before throughout history. There's a number of them in the Atlantic provinces. It is something that, from the province's perspective, is off their balance sheet, but nevertheless is a public agency that has a mandate to generate revenue where it can and use that revenue to amortize a capital infrastructure such as this industrial road. So just to jump to the chase here, an industrial road, fuel used on an industrial road, for example, is not subject to the tax out of which the highway, the road network is built. So that perhaps could be a source of funding for the capital cost of construction.
How is the now touching on the political will? It's been a political hot potato ever since Cliffs put its Ring of Fire assets on ice for quote unquote. It caused a real political firestorm within the province, between the province and the federal and the feds, between opposition parties at the provincial level and at the federal level. Is the political vision and will there? Do you have confidence that at some point they're going to be able to recognize how important this is, or is this going to be something? How concerned are you with the fact they're going to be able to step up to the plate and contribute whatever they need to contribute to get the Ring of Fire going?
I think there's enormous political will, provincially, federally, certainly in the affected municipalities as well. I think what we've come off of here is, if you just picture I was going to say wrestling match, but that wouldn't be apt. But perhaps a boxing match where you've got the two combatants, and all of a sudden the referee starts fighting both of you. I think that's what we've just witnessed here. Is the provincial government under the former premier picked a winner and decided this big company could do the job, and they would do whatever was needed to get the job done. I have not been shy about telling anyone that will listen. I think that is not the role of government. I think the role of government is to keep a level playing field. So now that we've got that cleared up, I think you'll see things make really fast progress.
So that answers my last question, which was, when again, going back to Cliffs, when they made that announcement back in November, the media, if anybody, was really concerned, expressed a great deal of concern, thinking, well, if Cliffs, this $3.8 billion market cap company, is pulling out, then potentially we've lost all hope. You don't see it that way. You don't need Cliffs to be there in order to make the Ring of Fire work.
We don't need, Canada, to a lesser extent Australia, we grow mining companies. We have an entire edifice in place that encourages exploration to take place, discoveries to be made, and then when a discovery is made, the financing to be attracted to that discovery for its development, and grow from a little exploration company, a large mining company. Large mining companies, and I won't pick on Cliffs. RTZ is a shining example. Currently, they are masters at blowing billions, tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, with their well considered initiatives. So no, we don't need a big company. We have a system in place in Ontario and throughout the provinces of Canada to encourage the creation of these enterprises.
Something I take some comfort in by just watching and listening to you, Frank, is that you seem very cool, calm, and collected about this. It does, given the magnitude of the project, and you've got to bring together companies like Noront, you've got to bring provincial and federal governments together, you've got to bring even First Nations together. You don't seem very fazed by this. Where do you find your comfort and confidence coming from? Maybe a little bit of knowledge is a bad thing here. I know just enough about geology and metallurgy to probably be dangerous, and I guess my courage and comfort come from the fact that what this Ring of Fire represents is a unique, chemically, morphologically, unique source of high-grade chromite. We think we are on the we're on the path of discovering, commercializing a process to refine that chromite in a more effective, more profitable way. And I think what the future holds, that my grandchildren will be participating in Canada's time as being the most important source of the principal source of stainless steel in the future. Well, on that note, because you can imagine just from that statement alone, we can branch off to 5 or 6 different topics. I want to tell everyone watching at home that, in fact, this is the first video in a series of videos where we're going to break down KWG's Ring of Fire plan development into different segments, including that new technology you talked about, including where the First Nations stand and some of the other strategies and tactics that you have up there. So I want to thank you for taking the time out to speak with us today, to get the ball rolling. And looking forward to having you and your team back for about 5 or 6 more of these over the next 45 to 60 days.
Likewise. Thank you, George.
You've been watching Frank Smeek. He's President and CEO of KWG Resources, trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the stock symbol KWG. If you need to find out more information about the company, get to their website, look up KWG Resources, or get to Agoracom, where you can pick up some great discussion between some pretty knowledgeable investors who have things to say about KWG as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.